Hey y'all, so it is NaNoWriMo day 2. Originally, I was not going to do any sort of vlogging over the month because that would just be a huge task, but I figured if I filmed short things every day, it might not be too bad, and I decided that today, which is why you're not getting anything from yesterday, but I will go ahead and update you guys on what has been happening so far. So it is a little bit before noon on day 2, and I have not written yet today, but I'm currently sitting at 4,045 words. Essentially, I sat down right as NaNoWriMo started for an hour and I wrote, and then yesterday throughout the day I wrote for 2 1-hour periods, so those 3 hours is how I got over 4,000 words. Despite being ahead of even the word count goal for today, I'm still going to try to do 2 1-hour writing periods today because I really want to keep the momentum up. So that's essentially where my writing is at as of now. What I plan to do for the rest of the day before I start actually writing on my story is that I'm going to go to my outline and edit it a little bit. Because right now I have basically a paragraph for each chapter, which is really great and really helpful, but the most helpful thing for me when I'm going to be doing these like hour-long writing sessions is going to be to take each scene individually and break it down into bullet points so I know everything that I want to hit within that scene, which will kind of facilitate easier writing when I'm just literally sitting down for an hour and word vomiting. So yeah, that is my plan for right now. Hopefully I get a good deal of work done on that, and I will update you guys again later today. Hey y'all, so it is quite a bit later in the day. I think it's about like 9 o'clock. And I wanted to go ahead and update y'all because I think I'm finished writing for the day. Honestly, earlier today I was really concerned about whether or not I would even get to my word count goal for the day because a whole bunch of stuff was going on. I've had car problems all week and my car was getting worked on today and I didn't think I'd get it back until like Friday, but it got done early, so I had to go pick it up, and then I had all these errands I had to run, so essentially my day was like really packed with stuff, and so I wasn't even sure I'd get to write today. But I ended up getting done with some stuff a little bit earlier than I thought I would, so I ended up being able to do 2 of my hour-long writing sessions that I had planned, and in those writing sessions I got 3,158 words written, somewhere in that area. In the first session I actually got like 1,500 words, and the second one I got 1,600, both of which were records for me, so hopefully I just keep on going up and up and up and I can write like 2,000 words in an hour by the end of this. So the actual word count goal for the day is 3,334 words, but I am currently sitting at 7,203 words. So I believe that that is more than double the word count goal for the day, which is great because like I said, I will probably get behind at some point or just not feel like writing. So it's good to get everything like on track and ahead now while I'm excited about everything. So that is going to be it for my updates for day 2. Even if I end up writing more, I probably won't update y'all again until day 3. It is now NaNoWriMo day 3 and the word count goal is 5,000 words. I am currently sitting at 7,203. Which is nice because it's above the goal, but it also means I have not yet written today. Which, to be perfectly honest, isn't actually my fault because essentially I had to get to campus at 7:30 this morning and I was there until 6:15 this evening, and it is currently almost 8. I've been home maybe an hour and I've just been eating dinner and doing homework. I definitely had time throughout the day to do some writing, but I actually spent it outlining a little bit because I find it kind of hard to focus and write when I'm not kind of like in my own space. Like when people are moving around and doing things near me and making noise, I find it difficult to focus. So instead I spent that time outlining, and now it's about time for me to do an hour-long writing session. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that. I'm going to do 2 of those tonight, even though I'm ahead. I'm not sure when I'm going to update you again, but it'll be at some other point tonight. Hey, I am back for another update. It is just past midnight, so it is starting to be day 4, and I just, as in like 5 minutes ago, finished writing for the day and updated my word count on the NaNoWriMo site. So I didn't end up doing 2 full hours of writing. I ended up doing one session that was 50 minutes because I kind of hit a conclusion point at that point, and then I did another like 30-minute long writing session right before midnight, so like from 11:25ish to like 11:55. And in that time, I managed to get 1,884 words written, which is surpassing the daily word count goal, which is great. And that puts my total word count at 9,078 words, I think. So I am ahead on both the daily count and the total count. Also, I'm not sure if I've mentioned this in any of the other updates, but I didn't start with a blank document. I already had like 5,800 words written. So my document right now is sitting at just under 15,000 words, which is really cool. So tomorrow I will be breaking 15,000 words. I wanted to break 10,000 words for the span of NaNoWriMo tonight, but I want to do a little bit more planning on this next scene before writing it, because I started getting into it and it was not quite as clear cut as I thought it would be. So I'm gonna work on that a little bit before I go to sleep, and then tomorrow I can pass the 10K mark. And tomorrow is Friday, which means I will have a lot more time to write because, like I said, Thursdays are crazy. So I'm excited to get a lot more writing done tomorrow. Hey, it is NaNoWriMo day 4 now, and the word count goal is 6,666 words, which means that you guys need to be extra demonic today. So you're probably like, Kristen, you said that Friday was gonna be a good day to write. Why is it already dark? And it's not already dark. It is currently 7:40 in the morning. Like, it is so dark here in the morning. It will not get light until at least like midway through my 8 a.m. class. I don't get it. I think tomorrow is when daylight savings ends, or Sunday, like at 2 a.m. on one of those 2 days. So it'll probably get better after that, but I digress. I haven't written anything since the last time I talked to you guys, but I will hopefully be writing before the next time I talk to you guys. If I don't write, I'm going to be outlining. I have a free hour between class and work, so we'll see what happens. I have to go catch the bus, so I will catch up with you guys later. So it is now about 9:30 p.m. So far I've only written for an hour today, and it was a particularly uninspired hour. I was having trouble figuring out what I wanted to happen in the scene. And so I only got about 1,000 words written, so I still have somewhere around 600 words to write before the end of the day. I am going to do another hour-long writing session at around 10, so I should be able to get through that with no problem, but I did want to go ahead and update y'all before I did that. Also, despite only getting 1,000 words written in that hour, I was able to pass the 10K mark for NaNoWriMo and the 15K mark for my draft overall, because I had a little bit over 5,000 words when starting NaNoWriMo. Also, I've been trying to put together a Pinterest inspiration board over the past couple days, so if I get that finished or get enough finished, I will link that down in the description of this video. So yeah, I'm gonna continue working on that until, like I said, about 10, and then I'm going to write for an hour. Okay, so it is now about 11:30. I know I said I was going to write for an hour, but I only ended up doing 45 minutes because I hit a good stopping point at 45 minutes. And once again, I feel like I need to plan a little bit better for this next part. There's this little, like, kind of vague area between 2 major events that I haven't really cleared up very well, and I need to do that so I can start getting more words in every day. That being said, I did get about 1,100 words written in that 45-minute period, which brings my total for the day up to 2,288, which is not too bad. And that also brings up my total word count to 11,375. And I think today's word count goal is 6,666, so I'm not quite double that, but I'm closer to doubling it than I am to the actual goal. So that's good. I also have seen several times on the site that tomorrow is like the double donation and writing day. And so tomorrow I think I'm going to try to do the double daily goal. So instead of writing 1,600 words in a day, I'm going to try to write 3,300, I think is going to be double that, a little bit over 3,300. So I'm not 100% sure if that's what I'm going to go for, but it's definitely a consideration at this point given that tomorrow is Saturday and I want to get some more words in. So that's it for tonight, and I will see you on NaNoWriMo Day 5. Hey, so I just realized that I have not updated you at all today about anything going on. So today is NaNoWriMo Day 5, and the word count goal is 8,333 words. And it is currently 9:30 p.m. I have gotten stuff done today, I just haven't filmed anything. I actually ended up going to the Starbucks in my Barnes & Noble this morning and just sat down there for an hour or an hour and a half and kind of messed with my outline and moved stuff around. And that was actually really productive for me because I feel like that helped me kind of figure out where my story is going. And then I sat down for an hour this afternoon and got somewhere around 1,400 words written, so I'm currently sitting at 12,837 words total. Now I did say last night that I wanted to do the doubling of the word count for the day, which would be 3,334 words for the day. So if I do still want to do that, which I'm still toying with the idea of doing that, I'll have to write a little bit less than 2,000 words for the rest of the day, which is doable, but I'm not sure if I want to do it. So yeah, we will see what I'm going to do. I'm going to go and finish up a scene and then maybe do a full hour of writing, and hopefully at that point I will be about as far as I want to be. We'll see. Okay, so it is now about 11 o'clock and I took the easy way out. I ended up not moving, staying in bed and writing about 350 words, which puts me over the word count goal for the day, which is great. So currently I'm sitting at just under 13,200 words, which is well above the word count goal for the day. Like I said, either yesterday or today, I'm hitting a point in the story that's not as detailed as some other parts. Like, I'm very familiar with the beginning of the story because I've written it a couple times in like rough drafts, and I'm very familiar with a lot of the major events in the story, but right now it's kind of like in an area where I'm developing some of the relationships between some of the characters, and that's not something I've really dealt with before. And so I'm trying to figure out the best ways to approach it. So like, I have an outline for this section, but it's just not as in-depth and detailed as some of the sections before and after it. And on top of that, these like developmental sections are not necessarily my favorite things to write. So it's getting me to a point where I'm not quite as excited about writing. I'm excited to get to a few scenes that come in a little bit, which will probably be a day or two from now, but it's making it a little bit hard to slog through this section. And part of me wants to just say, fine, skip this section, jump to the next part, but I don't want to leave all of the less fun to write sections for the end of NaNoWriMo. What I think I'm going to do is, since we set the clocks back an hour tonight, I think once it passes midnight, I'm going to try to write a little bit more and maybe like focus on writing until I go to sleep. I don't know when I'm going to sleep. I don't know. But this is going to be it for day 5 because obviously past midnight is day 6. So like I said, currently I am at about 13,200 words and my word count for the day is around 1,800. Hey, so it is NaNoWriMo day 6 and the word count goal for today is 10,000 words. So last night at the end of my update, I said that I was hoping to take advantage of the time change, but I accidentally fell asleep. So that didn't happen. However, it is currently 4:30 in the afternoon and I just did an hour-long writing session and I wrote over 1,800 words. Honestly, I have zero idea how I managed to get that done, but I did. And it wasn't even a scene I had outlined. I just kind of decided, because of the way my last scene went, that this scene needed to be added, so I added it. So literally none of the scene was planned in advance. I just kind of let it flow from my fingers, and clearly that works well for me because I got a ton written. It's really weird because the past few days I've felt like I'm not doing very well at NaNoWriMo, which is really dumb because I've met the word count goal every single day and I'm well ahead of the actual like total goal for NaNoWriMo so far, so I don't know why I feel like I'm failing. So I have to go to work in a little bit, but after I get off work, I think that I'm going to go to Starbucks and try to get some writing done because that really helped me focus yesterday when I was outlining. So I'm gonna see if that helps again. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do, and I will update you guys at the end of the night. So it is currently 10:45 at night, and y'all, I went to Starbucks after work and I wrote for an hour and I wrote 2,300 words. I honestly have literally no idea how I did that. Like, I knew I was writing a lot in that hour, but I still don't know how my brain and fingers did that. Yeah. I've just been sitting here trying to figure out what to say after that, and I literally have no idea. I just wrote 2,300 words in an hour. I have no idea how I did that. I even tweeted, I was like, wrote 2,300 words in an hour. I have no idea how I did that. See you at Hogwarts because apparently I can do magic now. Like, I have no idea how I managed to do that. So yeah, that puts me at 4,175 words for the day, which is the most that I've written in one day so far for NaNoWriMo, and that brings my total word count up to 17,371 words. I talked earlier about how I felt like I wasn't doing enough for NaNoWriMo even though I've been ahead this whole time, and I don't feel that anymore now that I just did that word sprint thing. I'm just really shocked. Like, until yesterday, the most that I'd written in an hour was like 1,600 words, and I felt like when I did that, I was like really working really hard to get the words in, and then somehow today I crushed it. So obviously that's going to be it for the night as far as writing for me. Well, probably, definitely before midnight. But I still kind of want to finish the scene because I stopped mid-scene, so I might write a little bit more tonight, but if I do, it'll be after midnight. And this time, I definitely am not going to fall asleep because I am all caffeined up and ready to continue working. So, I will catch up with you tomorrow on day 7.
And this time, I definitely am not going to fall asleep.
So, remember last night how I said I wasn't gonna fall asleep? I fell asleep. Here, let me show you. I have made a sign that I have put next to my bed so that I do not lay down and fall asleep. And yet, I do not listen to it. Okay, so here's the sign. It literally says not to lay down because I know that if I lay down, I am going to fall asleep. It is not even a question. I do it all the time on accident. And I put the sign there so I didn't do it anymore, and I still did it the last 2 nights. So yeah, I really wanted to write more last night, and I didn't end up doing it. I didn't even finish my homework before I fell asleep. I woke up at 4 in the morning and was like, well, I guess I'm gonna have to wake up early. So I woke up at like 6 instead of 6:30. And so I got my work done, but I didn't get to write anymore. Also, by the way, I didn't say this, it's day 7. I think the word count goal is like 11,667 words, I'm assuming. Yesterday was 10,000, so add 1,667 to that, and that's what you get. Anyway, I have not written yet today because I have been on campus all day, and I have to go back in about 45 minutes for rehearsal, which is 2 hours long. Yay. I don't think I have any homework to finish for tomorrow, and if I do, it's not anything too terrible, so I should be able to get a good amount of writing done tonight. I don't think I'm gonna go to Starbucks just to preserve my bank account and not buy coffee every night, but I am going to try and focus really well like I did yesterday. I really want to get a lot of words written in an hour again. Also, today is going to be the last day of this vlog. I'm going to go ahead and do these vlogs in week-long chunks. So day 7 is going to be the end of this one, and day 8 is going to be the beginning of the next one. So yeah, that is my writing plans for the rest of the day, and I will update y'all at some point later this evening after I have written. Okay, update from future Kristen on day 8. I got some words written and then I got sleepy and I laid down and set an alarm and I did not wake up when the alarm went off. So I did not get writing done last night that I wanted to get done. And that's why I'm filming this on day 8, because I didn't want to leave you hanging with that last update. So I got 710 words written, so at least I got words, but then I fell asleep and that's all I got. So this is my last update for this video because the next one is going to be day 8, which is the second week of NaNoWriMo. Anyway, y'all know this. I said this in the last update. Anyway, thank you for watching. Please continue to watch my updates. I promise they will get a little bit more interesting because I'm going to start talking about my story and showing you my Pinterest boards. So, yes. I will catch up with you on day 8.